Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this special edition of the Millennial Comrade. Uh, as you can see, it's in a bit of a different setting. I'm right now recording from my office. First of all, our thoughts and prayers with our brave boys in uniform and our fellow citizens across at the border. So today we're skipping our usual format because of the pressing nature of the issue at hand. As everyone knows, there's a wider conflict going on between India and Pakistan, which could tip the balance of world politics, geopolitics, in a very terrible way. To help us make sense of all this, we are joined by Major Vijay Bhargavan, aka the Audacious Major, as he's known on Instagram. He's a retired army officer, paratrooper, and a weapons expert with first-hand experience with some of the toughest combat units in India, having served on some of our front lines. The Major also has very active presence on social media and some often controversial and outspoken on his opinions regarding national matters. Major, thank you for joining me on this. Welcome to the show.
Pleasure. Pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you so much.
yeah. We'll get right to the point. Yeah. Uh,
Yeah, absolutely.
keeping aside all the news, the false news, everything that's going on right now, there's some people are saying we've invaded Rawalpindi, we've hit Karachi port, all that. Keeping aside all that right now, as citizens, how worried should we be? Could this conflict escalate to something like the beginning of a new Cold War or something like much bigger?
Okay. See, it would be very premature to answer that at the moment because we've been over the past, if you look at 2001, Op Parakram, all right, and then 2611, and then the Balakot strikes. We've been through this before. And there is always a scope for talks. Okay, some country would come and mediate. That's always there. You can never take it out of the picture. There is UN, there is US, there is G7. So people will butt in at some point of time because nobody wants a full-scale war. All right, and especially with nuclear powers like India and Pakistan, the entire Southeast Asian region will be destabilized. So nobody would want that. So there will always be scope for de-escalation. Having said that, the de-escalation would actually depend upon how would it spiral going forward in the next few days. Okay, we cannot actually predict what Pakistan is going to do because that nation they've always been like this. Okay, you would have noticed this, right? I mean, anybody with basic common sense can understand this. They harbor people like Hafiz Saeed, Masood Asad. They have you name a terrorist organization. It's headquartered in Pakistan. Yet they had the audacity to go on national TV, not even national TV, international TVs, the Sky News. The reporter, what was her name? I'm forgetting her name. She ripped the information minister apart with facts,
Yeah, the defense
right?
minister, if I'm not
So in spite
mistaken.
of
Yeah,
no, it was the information minister.
yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So they had the audacity to lie in front of the whole world that they do not support terrorism, while these people stay there in Z plus security in Pakistan. So you can never anticipate what Pakistan is going to do. Yes, they have nuclear power. In fact, they've got 170 nuclear warhead, 10 more than India, in India's
Mhm.
arsenal. So you never know what they're up to, and only they can tell you what they are likely to do. And to add to that, they have a barbaric chief of army staff in Pakistan. You'd be surprised to know this. General Asim Munir, he was supposed to retire in 2022. All right, for some reason, he was extended uh, till 2024 or something, and now it's been extended to 2027. So he has some pressure to, to justify this
Perform,
extension.
to perform.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's performance anxiety. If you would have listened to his previous meeting where he addressed, the foreign Pakistani nationals, he was talking clearly about this thing that India is our enemy. We are not one. So it clearly shows he does not want to have peace. And in Pakistan, the military hierarchy holds significance over the political hierarchy. So he's the boss. He's the one calling shots. So with somebody with that mindset, if you don't want to have peace, you don't want to have sort of a very cordial relationship with your neighbor, You never know what these guys are up to. So worried at this moment, I would say it's a localized conflict. The border states, namely Jammu and Kashmir, Punjab, Haryana to an extent, Rajasthan and Gujarat, they are in the firing line. Yes, things are happening there. The rest of the India, we do not have an imminent threat. All right, we have our air defense systems and all, and then we are, let's call it hinterland. Okay, so
Right.
we're pretty safe. The rest of the India, relatively safe, I would say. But then, yes, you never know. We are talking about sleeper cells. We are talking about
Correct.
overground workers. You never know because this country, they are capable of planting those people inside India as well. There's a limit to the IB or the raw. Of course, they will be able to track them given their expertise. But always there is a chance of these guys popping up, so we need to be vigilant. That is something, because it's not a conventional war. They will use their irregulars. We've seen that multiple times, right?
Right.
Right from Kargil, even before that. But let's talk from Kargil onwards because that is something that I can relate to. Before that, I was a kid. I was a young kid. So, but right from Kargil, they send in regulars with irregulars, right? And again, what happened in 2001, they attacked the parliament, and these are all people at 2611, and it's not a secret to anybody, right? The Pakistan handlers were sitting right in India. They were watching our live broadcast from India, and they were saying energy is coming from right, left, things like that. So they've been doing this multiple times, and I will share a personal experience from you. While I was in Kargil, I was on the border. We used to intercept, their messages stating that, and they would clearly say, "Mehman aa rakha hai hamare paas, mehman ko kab bhejna hai?" That means guests have come and they are sitting with us. And these are the Pakistani army people talking. They are talking to somebody, on another post. So Mehman means these militants. So they actually
Right.
harbor them, and I've heard it myself. So I don't have to, cross verify from somebody or say, oh, Pakistan does not know this. They do it. But just
Right.
that
Right.
they are kings of denial. They will just deny. They will just, look right into your eyes and say, oh no, we haven't done that. So
Right.
yes, we have to be, I won't say we have to be worried, but we have to be cautious, really cautious.
Right. Um, Now, considering China, now the whole world knows that Pakistan is basically in a huge debt trap to China, and China has
Hmm.
significant investments in Pakistan. And I don't
Hmm.
think China is going to be too happy sitting by and watching their investments potentially become at risk right now in this with this conflict.
Hmm.
What are the chances, from your understanding of engagement at the borders? What are the chances of a Chinese involvement, a direct Chinese involvement into this conflict? And
Okay. Yeah.
China also has a port in Sri Lanka, if I'm not mistaken, or they've taken control of a port in Sri
Hamatota.
Lanka. Yeah, which puts them in striking range within the southern cities.
Yeah.
What's your take on possible Chinese involvement? Is India
I
ready
would
for a
say,
two-front battle?
okay, two questions. I'll answer the first one. Very unlikely, I would say. China will not, as far as I think, they will not come into a direct conflict with India. Um, China is sort of like that mother-in-law who will sort of push the husband to fight against the wife. That's how simply I can put it. So they have a policy, at till 2047 or 2050, China will not try to fight a war against India. We've seen that in Galwan, right? We've seen it multiple times over the line of actual control towards our eastern side. They will come, they will have a face-to-face conflict with each other. We won't use weapons. We'll use sticks and fist punch and things like that. And then we'll push each other basically, right? And then we'll go back. Having said that, yes, China is far superior militarily than India. I mean, it's common sense. They have four times the budget, the defense budget,
Correct.
that of India's. So they are superior. But how superior? Okay, on papers, of course, they've got technology and things like that. But now we see, right, the Pakistani air defense systems, which has been inherited from China,
China.
it has faltered along, many areas on the border with the Indian strikes. India have been able to strike those missiles at Pakistan. So the effectiveness, yes, it would be in question, but I really do not think China would be an active partner in this war. I mean, at least for now. Okay,
Participant,
and
at least.
yes, they absolutely. They will supply China, I mean Pakistan with arms and ammunition. Yes, that they've been doing that, and they're getting money in return. All right, and their
Right.
whole point about getting Pakistan to do the dirty work is because they want to be. If China goes on a war, yeah, that's where your second question comes in. Can India fight a two sided war? Yeah, so the whole reason why China makes Pakistan do the dirty work is if China goes on a war against India, there'll be loss to both the countries. It will set
Right.
India back 15 years or something, and China will be, if not 15, at least 12. China will also go 12 years back. So they wouldn't want that. They want to be the kingmakers in the southeastern region. Okay, so
Right.
and they definitely see India as a potential threat. It's obvious. We've taken over in GDP and we're growing as an economy. We are growing. So they would definitely want India, and you see, right? I mean, the geopolitics and things like that. A lot of companies are now coming to India to establish their, companies and their manufacturing units, which used to
Correct.
be monopoly of China. So a lot of these traditional manufacturing units from different countries, including Apple, right? So they are sort of shifting bases to India, which used to be Chinese monopoly. So China would invariably be, wary about it. And with the US sanctions and all, things are a bit gloomy for China. So
Right.
they wouldn't risk a direct fight with India. So they would get the dirty work done by Pakistan, who's more than ready to do this,
More than ready to do it. Right.
and their military leadership, right? I mean, I really do not think they care about their citizens much. Okay, so you look at Pakistan, they're in debt. They're under huge debt. Their economy is down. There is unemployment. People, are, barring the Punjab province of Pakistan, the rest of them are actually very poor. Okay, poor would be an understatement. So that's the case of this country. So and if you look at the military leader, they are settled in the UK, rich. They have investment all over the world. So it's all about I'll just take care of myself. Let the country go to dogs because anyway your people are migrating from Pakistan. So I think that's the sort of mindset that they have,
Correct.
and people have sort of understood. They've accepted the fact that this country is going to be like this. I'm not saying they're all bad people. There are good people as well. But then your country depends upon your leadership. And over the past 20 25 years, we've seen this from Pakistan. So I don't think the military leadership really cares about their people per se. So
Right.
this is going to happen with Pakistan. So now, can India fight a battle on two fronts? Very unlikely. The logistics will be stretched. Okay, yes, we've got a huge strength, but we're talking about something like China. Okay, in the
Correct.
case of Israel, they're fighting who? Hamas, then Iran, all small countries. But China is a superpower.
It's a super.
They're probably as good as the US. So India can't do that. India and when if there's no if China won't come in, and if that's going to be happening, there'll be a lot of discussions, diplomatic talks, and it will de-escalate. But I really do not think China would be an active partner in this. They will, yes, support Pakistan with arms and ammunition. They call their Iron Fist brother or something, right? China. They call themselves as
It's
Pakistan's Iron Fist brother.
and first
So
brother. Yeah. Right. Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Correct. Let's hope for the
yeah,
best on
and
that
and
front.
US and yeah, and US and UK, they have different agendas. All right. Of
They
course,
have
India
agendas. Yeah.
coming up would be a threat to anybody. Threat,
Right.
yeah, it's a threat to anybody, right? So they would definitely want us to be quiet. So
Right.
the politics, yeah, it's a different thing. Let's not touch that
Let's not
at the
get into the
moment. But
politics. Let's not get into
yes, it's
geopolitics on this. Right.
absolutely.
What do you think the strike capabilities are of Pakistan to hit these cities? Considering from your understanding of their tech and their weaponry, using conventional warfare and even
Yeah.
unconventional, like usage of sleeper cells and terrorist bodies. What do you think are the chances of them hitting these cities?
Okay. Like I said, the immediate threat is for the five or six states that are closer to the border. All right. The rest of them are relatively safe. So let's say if Pakistan has the audacity to come and try hit probably Maharashtra or a Kerala or Karnataka for that matter. They would have to circumnavigate through the sea, which is impossible because the Indian Navy is far, far, far superior to the one Pakistan has. So that is pretty unlikely. All right. So the way they can hit these states are through two methods. One, definitely the irregulars, the sleeper cells, especially with Masood avenge them. So the chances are he would try to activate his sleeper cells and all, who are in India. So we need to be vigilant about that. So you should not leave it to the police or the CRPF or the CAPF who are responsible for the internal security. And having said that, the internal security is as important as the external security. So, as citizens of India, we need to be really careful. We need to be vigilant about these kind of things. Anything suspicious that you see, a suspicious kind of activity. See, let's not think that, okay, oh, that does not concern me. I'm busy going for a movie, or I'm going for something else. If you see anything suspicious, please inform the police, inform the authorities. Let them take action. That would be your response. It's simply like, you get into an aircraft during landing and takeoff. If they say you please, you are going to do some technical stuff. It's just that the responsibility, the safety of the aircraft is not just a responsibility of the pilot and the cabin. A false alarm or even an emergency, if somebody can spot it, they can take an action. It's just basically
Right.
that. So that mentality should sink in. We need to have that mentality here. And the second one, do not fall for the information war, the psychological war that is happening. Okay,
Right.
so the first thing
Right.
the Pakistanis would want to hit is the morale of the country. See, let's say Pakistan sends out few fake news saying that they took out 5 Rafales, okay, and they've captured 2 Indian pilots. Where would be the morale of the troops? Let's say
Correct.
a unit is sitting in Madhya Pradesh. They are the reservists. Okay, they want to move in if they call for what. Think about their morale. They're sitting there and think, oh my God, our fellow soldiers have been caught by Pakistan. Our jets have been down. What will happen to us? This is what they're trying to do.
Correct. Correct.
This is the information war. And let's say somebody sitting in Kerala, they hear this. They hear this. Our 5 Rafales have been shot down, which is again a hope. I mean, it didn't happen. What will you think? Oh, what's the government doing? What is the army doing? They're good for nothing. We are doomed. So that panic sets in. That's what they are trying to do. This is what the information warfare does to you. And it's a huge chunk. I mean, it's a different, definitely a way to destroy the morale of the country. So we need to be very wary about that. Do not trust any news that come from unauthenticated source. Just listen to PIB, the Press Bureau of India. Let
Right.
them give you the verified source. I mean, on Twitter, you go, they'll be like, one senior official said that India has been 5 Rafales have been done. Who's the senior officer? They won't quote that. Okay, so
Right. Right. So, how much has our defense tech improved since, especially in relative to Pakistan? Pakistan is using a lot of Chinese and American equipment, but compared to Pakistan, how
yeah.
much has our tech improved since our last big conflict with Pakistan, from your understanding?
Okay. So I would call probably Parakram on the last big defense. Okay, so let's start from Op Parakram 2001 onwards or Kargil 99. India has improved tremendously. We have the Rafales, we've got better equipment, we've got Smerch, Pinaka, the multi-barrel rocket launchers, BrahMos, Agni, Prithvi, the air defense S-400. We our own Iron Dome. I mean, I'm sure you would have heard about it on the news and
Right.
how it
Yes.
intercepted 36 missiles. So basically, what it does is it's got a capability to detect incoming missiles from 400 kilometers. Okay, so it can detect if something, a Shaheen or a Shaheen or Abdali missiles of Pakistan, it's in the air. So probably it can detect from 400 kilometers away, and it can target 300 missiles at the same time simultaneously. So that's the
Right.
capability of this equipment. And then it sends out interceptor missiles. It bursts near the missile or it hits the missile, and then that's how poof. And that's how it neutralizes that. So we've got those systems. And then there is Akash, our own indigenously developed. So But then, it reduces the chances. But then, yes, one or two will escape somewhere or the other. So even the Iron Dome of Israel, which is considered the epitome of air defense,
Air
it couldn't
defense.
stop. So yes, there will be. That's why the mock drills and your safety nets and how the people should react to such situations come in place. So everything, all these things coupled together, right, in tandem, it reduces the risk of people getting injured in these attacks. But yes, we've tremendously improved the sort of acquisitions that we have at the moment. It's far superior, and I don't think Pakistan at the moment is a match for India. But yes, they will be able to inflict casualties on us if we are not careful. You should never underestimate your enemy. But yeah,
Absolutely.
we stand at a far superior place. Yeah.
And especially an enemy as desperate as Pakistan right now, who
Oh,
it would seem they had nothing to
absolutely.
lose.
Yeah, absolutely. Correct.
Um, just one more question. Is there still room for diplomacy as far as you think? Or is it going
Yes.
to be, or is
Uh,
it going to be a scorched earth thing where India is just going to go all out?
No, there will be room for diplomacy because, see, India is not irrational. Even when we struck back, we aimed at the terrorist camps. All right. We could have gone all out, right? We could have gone all out, but we didn't do that. Even now, we are not going all out. We are still saying we are not striking your military establishments. We don't want escalation. That's what we're saying. But Pakistan, so see, that's where the comedy lies. India can strike the terrorist outfits and the terrorist camps in Pakistan. So what would Pakistan do in India? We don't have terrorist camps in India. So they invariably have to, target a military establishment or probably a civilian area, which is what they're doing. So but yes, even having said that, we've had ceasefire violations for n number of years. We had Kargil, we had Op Parakram. We survived that, and it's 25 years down the line. Pakistan and again tried something like this. So I still believe there will be room for diplomacy. There will be talks. Talks can probably resolve a lot of things. But then yes, we will need some sort of rational thinking from Pakistan. They cannot go on this escalation. Now, with IMF granting them $2.3 billion for it's basically for clearing their debt and for sustenance. So this is the state of Pakistan. You see, they have nothing, but still they have this audacity. So now I feel this IMF loan was granted in the pretext that you need to de-escalate yourself. You okay,
Possible.
we are letting you, yeah. So it's you let's not look at it as, oh, they've given more money to them, now they'll fight the war. So IMF say this is for your taking care of your internal stuff, get your internal
Get your
things
shit
right,
together. Yeah.
and then yes, absolutely, I didn't want to use that word. That's all. So so yeah, that's basically that. So I think yes, there will be lot of room for diplomacy and talks. It can definitely solve it. And probably Asim Munir will just go the way Musharraf went.
Possible. Possible. They're a nation of coups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, one of the most commonly thrown around word, especially on international media, whenever addressing this situation, is that we have two nuclear powers in direct confrontation with each other. Now, as far as I know, and most people know, that launching a nuclear weapon is not a simple matter of just going ahead and just pressing a button. There is usually
Yeah,
a launch protocol. It's a big decision. The
absolutely.
entire nation's the top brass has to come together to make that decision. It's not a light decision,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
But because Pakistan is the way it is and the conflict is going the way it is, in the event of a nuclear launch, and I'm asking strictly as a layman, does India have the capability to detect and neutralize such a launch before it, could make landfall in our soil or in our airspace?
yeah. I pretty much think our air defense systems will be able to, detect that. But then how effectively can you neutralize that? It remains to be seen. All right, because we're talking about a nuke. And even if let's say, we detect it and then you neutralize in the air, it's still a nuke. All right.
Still
We
no,
know
right?
what happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and those people are
Yeah,
still suffering. It
right.
happened way back, 70 years, 75, 78 years back. Still people are suffering. So a nuke, wherever it explodes, even if it explodes in the air, it can cause, collateral damage.
Right.
It has to be seen because nobody knows. Okay, nobody knows how a nuclear weapon is going to probably burst, and then how much catastrophe it's going to cause. But yes, detection should be fine. Utilization, I think it still remains to be seen how effectively we'll be able to do it. But then it's my personal take. I really do not foresee somebody doing that. And India has got a strict policy. We are not going to use a nuclear weapon first.
I mean, no
Our
struck
our
first strike
response will
policy.
only be yes, absolutely. We'll only retaliate if something like that happens to us.
Right.
And if Pakistan is going to do that, Pakistan would be erased from the map.
Well, let's just hope it doesn't come to that. God help us all if it comes to that,
Yeah,
seriously.
absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
It won't. It won't. I really don't think so. They are
Uh,
rabid, but then I don't think they are that rabid.
Thank you so much, Vijay, for coming on and giving your valuable input on this difficult time.
Pleasure.
Very unconventional setting, I know, but I feel the credible information has to be put out to the public, especially from people who have credible experience, such as yourself. And thank you so much for coming, dude.
Pleasure. Pleasure's all mine.
All right. Have a nice day and Jai Hind.
You too. Jai Hind.